My eyes suddenly opened. The world sharpened instantly. For a moment, I couldn't grasp my surroundings in astonishment. My mind was filled with half-remembered nightmares, a metallic taste unfamiliar in my mouth. My body ached as if it had passed through a war zone, which wasn't far from the truth, fortunately. A rustle, and the curved glass lid of my chamber opened, shapes and the scent of ozone emerged. This was not a good sign. Survival instincts honed through endless campaigns kicked back into reality. Pale, tall, and large-eyed aliens that were not human. The unsatisfactory sign of this alien scent and language. Instead of reaching for my rifle, my hands came up empty and restrained. One creature trilled in an incomprehensible language, skillfully hiding any surprise. The other wrote commands on a transparent panel near my head. My heart beat regularly in my chest. What had they done? A strike to my intercom. The interface was like a familiar needle in my head. Command, this is Commander Citadel. Any forces in the sector, please respond. I tried again, scanning a range of military channels, even emergency broadcasts, but received nothing. Isolation, colder than any vacuum, chilled my teeth as after the sea station fell. The aliens watched me carefully, clicking and chirping, a nerve-wracking symphony, but at least they didn't cut the line. What had they done? A strike to my intercom. The interface was like a familiar needle in my head. Command, this is Commander Citadel. Any forces in the sector, please respond. I tried again, scanning a range of military channels, even emergency broadcasts, but received nothing. Isolation, colder than any vacuum, chilled my teeth as after the sea station fell. The aliens watched me carefully, clicking and chirping, a nerve-wracking symphony, but at least they didn't cut the line. Lit, a stillness that had been bent over the edge of a bloody battle in the past decade as a warrior. Curiosity on which wrote, time spent searching for details. Your species was extinct, it chirped, and frozen blood was in its black eyes. Heard that humanity took a little time, and lost the command voice. I don't want a history lesson, I said, suppressing rising nausea. What do you want? Human questions. Your ship was an abandoned wreck, but you were alive. Technology we didn't have. We want to understand it. A disgusting numbness shivered. We didn't have our stasis technology. If these creatures change, they change everything. Technical advantage was the final big bargaining chip of the war. Began working on the suits of creatures locked in emotion, giving no chance. Thick mag cucks almost limit my movements just as a mixture. Where do you keep me for a moment? Stop. It agreed quickly. That there was no entertainment. Admiral bit my non-negotiable arrogance for an exact route. These things would win what they won then. I lost. Humanity was in this war to stop this war. Let go of later strings. They almost had to meet for humans. When I was successful, even a fear tactic, I didn't see, like a power display holding your property, a leader's room, I thought to control the center, with a good lock in no way, a fun result. The alien's eyes, black and void-like, stared into mine. It chirped something to its companion, who nodded and continued typing furiously on the transparent panel. I watched the symbols and diagrams flicker across the screen, none of them familiar to me. My thoughts raced, trying to piece together what little I understood of their language and technology. The taste of metal lingered, reminding me of past battles, the tang of fear and adrenaline. One of the aliens approached me, holding a small device that looked like a blend of organic and mechanical components. It pressed the device against my temple, and I felt a brief, sharp pain. Images and sounds flooded my mind. Alien landscapes, advanced machinery, strange symbols. They were trying to communicate, to download information directly into my brain. I gritted my teeth and tried to resist, but the flood of data was overwhelming. Stop, I managed to say, my voice strained. The alien paused, tilting its head as if considering my request. Then it stepped back, and the flood of information ceased. I took a deep breath, my mind reeling from the experience. Your technology is primitive but intriguing, the alien said in a halting, synthesized voice. It had accessed enough of my language to speak to me directly. We need to understand it to improve our own. You will help us. I have no choice, do I? I reply, my voice bitter. The alien's black eyes gave nothing away. You will be treated well if you cooperate, it said. We are not your enemies unless you make us so. I leaned back, my restraints digging into my wrists. And if I refuse? The alien's eyes narrowed slightly. Then you will remain here, isolated and restrained, until you change your mind. We have ways to persuade even the most stubborn. I closed my eyes, trying to think. The fate of humanity might rest on my actions here. If I could learn more about their technology, perhaps find a way to turn it against them, there might still be hope. But for now, I had to play along, gather information, and wait for the right moment to strike. Fine, I said, opening my eyes, I'll help you. But I want guarantees that no harm will come to me. The alien nodded. Agree. We need you alive and well. You will be moved to more comfortable quarters, but remember, we are always watching. As the aliens unfastened my restraints and helped me to my feet, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was stepping into a larger game, one where the stakes were nothing less than the survival of my species. The battle had only just begun. The days passed slowly in my new quarters. The room was stark and cold, filled with strange alien devices whose purposes I could only guess at. I spent hours studying them, trying to glean any information that could be useful. The aliens, for their part, seemed eager to share their knowledge, but always on their terms. They asked endless questions about our technology, our tactics, our history. I answered as best I could, careful not to reveal too much. One day, as I was examining a particularly intricate piece of machinery, the door to my quarters slid open and an alien I hadn't seen before entered. It was shorter than the others, with a more angular face and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. I am Tira, it said, in the same synthesized voice the others used. I am here to facilitate your cooperation. Facilitate, I repeated, raising an eyebrow. How exactly do you plan to do that? Tira tilted its head slightly. I am familiar with your species' psychology. I can help you understand the benefits of cooperation. I frowned. And if I don't want to cooperate? Tira's eyes glowed a little brighter. Then we will have to resort to other methods, but I hope it won't come to that. I studied Tira for a moment, then nodded slowly. All right, Tira, let's talk. Tira spent the next few hours explaining their society, their technology, their goals. It was clear they were advanced, far beyond anything humanity had achieved. That there were gaps in their knowledge, things they desperately wanted to understand. And they believed I could help fill those gaps. As the days turned into weeks, I began to see a pattern. The aliens were not just interested in our technology, they were afraid of it. They saw it as a threat, something that could disrupt their carefully balanced society. And they were willing to go to great lengths to understand and neutralize that threat. But I had my own agenda. I continued to cooperate, all the while gathering information, looking for weaknesses. I knew that if I could find a way to exploit those weaknesses, I might be able to turn the tide in humanity's favor. One day, as I was working on a particularly complex piece of alien technology, Tira approached me. We have been monitoring your progress, it said. You have proven to be quite resourceful. Thanks, I reply, not looking up from my work. We believe it is time to take our cooperation to the next level, Tira continued. There is a project we are working on, something that could benefit both our species, but we need your help. I looked up, intrigued. What kind of project? Tira's eyes glowed brighter. A way to bridge the gap between our technologies, to create something new, something that could change the course of our shared history. I considered Tira's words carefully. This could be the opportunity I had been waiting for, a chance to gain deeper insight into their technology, to find the leverage I needed. All right, I said slowly. I'm in. Tira nodded. Good. We will begin immediately. As the project progressed, I found myself working closely with the aliens, learning their methods, their ways of thinking. It was a delicate balance, keeping up the facade of cooperation while secretly working towards my own goals. But I knew that if I played my cards right, I might just be able to turn the tables and give humanity the fighting chance it so desperately needed. The final confrontation was approaching. I could feel it in the air, in the way the aliens watched me, in the tension that hung over every interaction. They were getting closer to their goal, and so was I. The fate of both our species hung in the balance, and I was determined to make sure humanity came out on top.